touched on this in a video prior to this. It's called 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro with Completed Proof. And this was written by J.A. Rogers. And this was copyrighted by J.A. Rogers in 1957. If we turn to page 7, something interesting is in here. I'm going to read this paragraph. I'll start here with Tacitus. Tacitus, Roman historian of 90 AD, says that the Romans of the popularity believed that the Jews which then abounded in Europe came from Ethiopia, the land of the blacks. The present white color of the European and American Jew is very likely due to the same cause, meaning a mixture, as the fair skin and straight hair of large number of Negroes. The Bible classes the Ethiopian and the Jew together. Are ye not as the children of Ethiopia unto me, O children of Israel? Saith the Most High. He says, Chaldea, the land in which the Jews originated, was also a Negro land. Hence, Abraham might also have been black. So the Chaldees were also a Negro land. And this is what we read about in Genesis chapter 11, verse 28, when it says, and Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees. So Abraham was born in that land, and his father dwelled in that land of the Chaldees, and this author is telling you that they were Negroes. The Chaldees were Negroes. So after Abraham left that area, where did he go? Look at Genesis chapter 11, verse 31. And Terah took Abraham his son, and Lot the son of Haran, and his son, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abraham's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees, to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there. Now, I already went over a video showing you that the Canaanites were black. So Abraham went from a land where the Chaldees looked like Negroes and went to a darker land where he visited Ham, and he dwelt among them people. So what color had Abraham been if he was going from one dark nation to another dark nation? What do you think he looked like? He was black. Just like the one you call Christ, who we call Yahushua, Hamashiach, he left Israel and went to Egypt to dwell with the Egyptians, with his family, to hide from the Roman persecution, when they were killing children under the age of 2 years old. So we have a comparison here. This author saying that the Chaldeans were Negroes. Now, when you go to Daniel, let's go to Daniel 1. Daniel chapter 1. And when we look at Daniel chapter 1, verse 4, right? We'll start at 3. And the king spoke unto Aspenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes. Verse 4, children in whom was no blemish, but well-favored and skillful in all wisdom, and cunning in knowledge, and understanding science. These were the Chaldeans. And such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace. So the Hebrews, the children of Israel, went right back amongst the who? Right back amongst the Chaldeans, where Abraham was dwelling, with the Chaldeans. Same people. And whom they might teach the learning of the tongue of the Chaldeans. You see that? Think about that. So our people went into captivity in Egypt, came out of Egypt, was speaking a different tongue, which Moses had a hard time speaking, right? Which was closer to the Egyptian language, to going into Babylonia years later, down the line, generations after generations, and hanging out with the Chaldeans who spoke a different tongue at that time, who were Negroes. See that? And these were the astronomers, and these were the sorcerers of the Babylonian kingdom at that time, and they put Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego right with them. Interesting, right? This is a book called Anacalypsis, Volume 2, by Godfrey Higgins. Godfrey Higgins, he actually published this book. He finished this book in June 1833. It was republished in 2021, but he actually finished the book in 1833. So let's go to the top of this. We probably got to read quite a bit so you get the understanding of it. Let's go here. It reads, in consequence of the prejudice, for it is really prejudice, against the Negro, or I ought rather to say against the possibility of a Negro, being learned and scientific. All right, so he's being biased. He's being biased because of this present day, the state of the Negro. And he can't believe that in those days, the Negro was highly intelligent. Okay, it says, arising from an acquaintance with the present Negro character. See, comparison of the ancient Negro to the Negro today. But we've been beaten down and trodden down. This is why we don't have the excellency that we once had. It's only a few of us. I admit with great difficulty the theory of all the early astronomical knowledge of the Chaldees having been acquired or invented by his race, and that the Chaldeans were originally Negroes. So he, too, also says that the Chaldees were Negroes, and the Hebrews were Negroes. Abraham dwelt with the Chaldees and the Canaanites, and Abraham was born in Chaldea. But this prejudice wears away when I go to the precursor of the Brahmins, the Buddhists, and when I reflect upon the skill in the fine arts which they must have possessed when they executed the beautiful and most ancient sculptures in the Museum of the India House, because we were scattered to India too, and the knowledge of astronomy shown in their cycles of stones, example, etc., that the Buddhists were Negroes. The icons of the god clearly prove. So he's saying, these Negroes are scattered all over the globe. Why? And I'm finding out that these statues and these stones look like the Negroes of old. And the Chaldeans were Negroes. And the Hebrews were Negroes. And even these Buddhists were Negroes. So he's puzzled. It says, the reason for the difference between the Yahudi of the West and of the East is to be found in the circumstances that the Afghan Brahmin who came with his tribe from the East to Syria of the West was an iconoclast. He was opposed to the use of images just beginning to prevail, and now so much prevailing when he left India. So we were in India, and we still are in India. He was of the religion or sect of Persia and of Melchizedek, and it's very evident that almost all the peculiarities found in the laws and manners of the Jews are what arose from the anxiety of their lawgiver Moses to preserve the hatred of images and anxiety of a sect well depicted in the history and book of Esther, and also in the conduct of Cyrus, Darius, Cambyses, etc., in destroying the images of Egypt, but leaving the lingas, and in restoring the Jews and their temple. So he's saying that the Jews lost their way. Some started to become idol worshippers. But there were some Jews that held fast and destroyed the images because of what Moses had done to the children of Israel who had sinned in the wilderness.
The white Jews say that all the black Jews are converts to Judaism. But the black Jews say that they came here first to India, and about 500 years before the white Jews.
They were rich, but we were poor. And they used to say that we have been slaves to them, converted people, which is absolutely wrong. It has been implanted to the mindset of the people from the Paradeshi. This is we are the superior race, and they are inferior race. Now, this inferior, what they are called as inferior, the color. Because of the color, they said our people are inferior. Because of the color, they say they are superior. That's it.